And then we have car crews and boat crews at our shop. To do $1 million a year, you got to do $20,000 of detail a week, $4,000 a day on a 5-day week. So it's a lot of detail. There's a lot of moving parts that goes into it. But one thing is, you don't start like that. You don't flip a switch and all of a sudden you're doing $20,000 a week in detail. It just doesn't happen. Matter of fact, sometimes we flip the switch and it don't happen now. It depends on how much business is coming through the doors, how marketing's doing, how sales are doing. So we started out humbly. It was myself, my wife, and a helper under a carport, detailing boats, detailing cars, detailing anything that would show up. Okay, just like you guys, I'm sure, we took on every job that we could take on. We lost money on 90% of them. Cried, bled, cried again, polished some metal, cried again, but we built and we had goals set, and I knew that I wasn't wanting to hang on a buffer the rest of my life. I have respect for Drake and everybody out there that's working as a one-man shop or a one-man crew or a crew and a helper, but my thoughts were I wasn't hanging on a buffer the rest of my life. I want to run a business. I want this business to work for me and me to work in it, and but I wanted to be off the job. So had to grow. In order to do that, I knew that I was going to have to hire people to do what I was doing for this company. And so first thing I want to talk about is employees and how you keep employees happy and how you get employees. Does anybody have any employees, by the way? How many you got? Two. So you know my pain here. So you know how hard it is to keep guys working, keep guys motivated, Everybody else, does anybody else not want an employee? They just want to be the single guy, shop owner? Okay. So you can ignore this. Check out for a minute. No, but listen, guys, keeping guys happy is a job, especially in this day and age where we're competing with the government, because they're sending out checks that are larger than some of the guys that are making. Not necessarily now, but when we first started and hiring employees, we couldn't pay great wages. Now we're able to, and when you're starting out, you have to. You got to get guys that are willing to come in and make the sacrifice early. They're not making that great money, so you can build something. But in order to keep them motivated, in order to keep them showing up and happy every day, they got to see the end vision. You got to be transparent about your business so that way they see what you're trying to do and you're inclusive of them. So at my shop, we do what's called a profit share. They get 20% of the net profit that comes into my company split amongst everybody evenly. So we go over every month our P&L. P&L is our gross income, all of our income, less all of our expenses, the money we made at the end of it. And we split it out through the company. That keeps them involved and engaged in the business activities, and they understand that we're building something big, and the more money the company makes, the more money we make. Okay? Keeping them motivated, we have morning meetings every morning. So this is just like my staff meeting every single morning with my detailers. I stand up in front of them. We go over the numbers that we did from the day before. We go over what we expect to do that day and any issues that may be. So if we ran into an issue on a boat, we're running into an issue yesterday before I left on a black boat, just like that one. Backed it in, we priced it out as a one-step polish and coat. Backed it in, turn the lights on, immediately it looks just like that. We know that we're sanding all the way down to 500. So we have to go in and get back with the customer, let them know what's going on. Hey, the price is fixing to change. The crew that was set up to do it figured they'd be on it 4 hours, they're going to be on it 12 hours. So things change, things evolve, but those meetings are where you address those things, and we can handle that, and it's not just everybody running around pulling their hair out. So it's an organizational thing that we do. That keeps all the employees together, it keeps everybody talking, everybody communicating with each other, keeps everybody happy. We also do cool stuff. Once a year we load up on boats and we do a booze cruise. I buy as much beer as we can fit in 2 boats. We put everybody in the company on them, and I go literally take off a piece of an island and we go get drunk on the island. It's a booze cruise, straight up. For those of you that don't drink, you wouldn't fit in. No, sorry, Drake. No. But that's the thing we do. A couple weeks ago, we did a paintball thing. Everybody in the company, we came out and went and played paintball. By the way, that was the most fun thing I've done ever. That was awesome. So it just builds that team environment, gets everybody, pulling the same way. It gets them outside of work where they can kind of have fun with each other, and it's not always work. So as far as employees goes, you got to get creative. You're competing with the government right now. That's fixing to end. But, you're competing with your other local competition too as far as keeping your employees. So you keep it creative, keep it fun, keep them in the loop. Don't hide everything. Guys, they're not here to steal your business. If your business is that easily stolen, you don't deserve to own the business anyway. If I can hire a guy to come in and work for me and then he goes and takes my business, I'm not doing my job. So I don't even worry about that. My books are open. I tell them everything because I'm not scared of it. They're empowered, they're involved, and they know what's going on. That's how I keep the network of people that I have. And we have a tight-knit group. So employees are not as hard as it seems. Hire often. When you need somebody, hire them. Give them a little trust, but fire quick. If it don't work, cut ties. Be straight up with them in the interview. Listen, man, I'm going to try you out for a couple weeks. If it don't work, no harm, no foul. I don't hate you. You don't hate me. If I tell you it don't work, you're gone. Being on time is a big thing at our shop. We start at 7:30. It's an eyes up meeting at 7:30. Everybody in my shop has to be there at 7:30. If you're not there at 7:30, you go home, okay? Because it takes zero talent to get your ass out of bed and come to work, okay? It takes a lot of talent to figure out the boat, to get the boat right. I'll help you with that part. I can't help you come get out of bed, okay? So if you can't get out of bed, you're going home. Simple as that. You set the standards, but it also depends on you. You got to be there. I can't say it's an eyes up meeting if I stroll in at 7:45 because I'm the owner, okay? I'm there at 6 o'clock. I'm there preparing for my management meetings. I'm there preparing my numbers to present to them. I'm there getting my stuff ready so that at 7:30 I can be eyes up, ready to go over the day. So a lot of it falls on you. Customers, can't be $1 million detail shop without customers, right? Got to keep them happy too. So it's all, you know, we want to go play paintball and we want to go have a booze cruise. We got to have employees to pay for, the customers to pay for it. So got to keep the customers happy. One thing about keeping customers happy is it's a pride thing, and you better swallow it quick. Because if you let those customers leave mad, you won't have those customers or their friends friends ever again. You're not going to make them all happy 100% of the time, but it's your job to try. It's your job for them to understand that you're trying, for you to go over the top. Listen, if there's something that leaves my shop and they call and say, hey, you know what, look, I opened the bilge and they missed a part behind the bilge pump. No problem, we'll be there tomorrow. And we go out on site and fix it. We're not going to ask you to bring your boat back to my shop. We're going to go, and it cost us money. The guys know it. There's a redo jobs line item on my P&L that shows them how much we spend on redos. So keeping customers happy, you do whatever it takes, whenever it takes, however long it takes. You go make these customers happy, because without happy customers, you will not have a business. Straight up. It sucks sometimes. It's called eating the shit sandwich at my shop, okay? I'm sorry, guys. And look, I know Drake's cringing over here. This is me, okay? I'm sorry. But it's called eating the shit sandwich. Sometimes you got to eat it. You got to make them happy. You got to make them feel like they've won, even when you know you're probably right. Make them feel happy. Get them going and get on to the next job. Don't lose no sleep. Don't think about it. Don't remember it. Don't put it back and go. You can flag their account, though, when they show back up, and remember how bad they sucked the first time, because they're going to suck again, and that price can go up. So keeping customers happy is huge. And then we'll just kind of touch over the rest of the things. Marketing, guys, if you want to do $1 million in detail a year, you better be bringing in some work, because you're consuming $20,000 a week worth of work. That means you got to have enough booked out for the next week and the next week and the next week. So marketing is huge. We all have a social media account, I'm sure, here, right? Okay, if you got time to scroll on your news feed, you got time to post on your news feed. As a detail company, it's your job to advertise your services, your product. Your product is your detail. I built this business 10 years ago, back when Facebook had just started, they started 9 years ago, just started boosting ads. We'd pay like $5 to get in front of like 10,000 people. It was free, basically. And we started it. And I would take a before and an after, and I'd splice them together, and I'd put wet sand compound polish this boat, looks beautiful, come buy my service, whatever, you know. Send it out to 10,000 people. Then 100 messages would come in, and so forth and so on. And so social media is where everybody's at. That's their news. That's what's in their hand 90% of the time. When they're sitting on the toilet, when they're driving down the road, when they're doing whatever, that's what they're looking at. You need to be on there. If you want to get the business that you need to produce the amount of work that you want to make, you got to be right there where the customer's at. So there's other marketing out there, and I've tried it all. News, radio, everything. Social media, by far, is the cheapest, most efficient way to get your customers. No question about it. There's no argument there. All right, so good marketing, and it's easy. Once you do it a few times, it gets better and better and better. Look at Drake. I mean, he's got a heck of a YouTube channel. He's got a heck of marketing skills going on, and it just gets easier over time, right? I mean, the more you do it, the more you get used to it, the quicker you get at it. It's not even a thing anymore. And then eventually, you hire somebody else to do that thing. So marketing, and then, of course, sales. You got to know how to sell. If the customer's calling in because your marketing did so great, you got to know how to convert the job to a sale. And sales is basically just being confident in what you do. It's being confident in what you're going to do. And in layman terms, they don't care what grit sandpaper you're going down to. They don't care what sandpaper you're going to. They don't care what compound you use or what pad you're going to use. All they care about is my boat's not shiny and my boat needs to be shiny. And I need it to be protected forever for one-time fee. And that don't happen, by the way. So sales game. It's educating the customer in layman's terms. Here's what you can expect. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what you can expect. Give yourself a little room. Don't claim that this product's going to last 25 years when you know it's not. Okay? Try to get them on a regular maintenance schedule, a regular routine, so that way they know they're going to expect this thing to be at a certain condition the next time you see it. Okay? Set those expectations early. But you can convert sales with confidence. You don't have to be the smartest guy in the room. You don't have to be the best salesman in the room. Matter of fact, it's really not even considered sales. It's just educating, and it's just knowing what you do. So pricing, and I noticed in Drake's folder, he's got a breakdown of pricing, and I'm going to kind of sum it all up with that. The reason that I own this, or that I built this software, and by the way, this is not a sales pitch for the software. I hope that everybody wants this software at the end of this thing. But it's not a pitch. This is what I built for my business, to run my business, and it's the reason that we were able to grow. About 4 years ago, I was sitting about where you were sitting. We were slammed with work. We didn't have enough employees. We couldn't keep up. We were letting customers down. We wanted to take that next step and had no ability to. We tried different softwares that were out there, which were like Google Calendar or Facebook scheduling app or whatever that was out there. It was just junk, garbage. So I made the financial commitment to go in and build me some software that would manage my business, and it exploded. It took things off of me it took problems off of me that I didn't even know I had. And so fast forward a year and a half later, I made the commitment to go in and bring it to other detailers. It did so good for me that I couldn't imagine a world where I wasn't letting other people use this software. It helps with things like pricing. One of the things when I built this software, I knew that pricing was a problem in the detailing industry, and whether it's auto, marine, or RV, or industrial, or planes, we all have pricing problems because there's no comparing apples to apples if nobody knows what the next person's doing. So if you don't have a package that you can compare to the other guy's package, you can't compare pricing because one guy's full detail is totally different than another guy's full detail. So my idea in software is that it standardizes that. It gives us something to compare to. And our software allows you to do that. It comes preloaded with per foot pricing that's going to be very close to yours that you've gotten for them, but it depends on the vehicle size. So one of the things that sets our software aside from the rest is that every other software that now hit the market has nothing to do with the vehicle size. It's basically just put a package out there and type in what you charge. Well, ours is different. Ours has every vehicle, every boat type. They put in a length. You put in a length on the boat, and that's what calculates your per foot price. So pricing is huge in the industry because we want to get to where we're all kind of charging the same thing or around the same thing for the levels of work that we're doing, so we can all kind of grow together, and software is going to help that. But getting right pricing is crucial. When we all start out, everybody was too cheap. I was too cheap. Drake was too cheap. I don't even know what he was charged. I can tell you he was too cheap. I'm still too cheap. Okay. Yeah. I mean, we all, and you learn that. You learn that, but the beauty of it is, and Drake mentioned it earlier, the beauty of this right here is this wasn't available when I started. So this 3 days, you're fixing to pick up stuff that took us 10 years or 7 years to figure out. And now there's a software, wait a minute, there's a software out there that tells you it, come on. So pricing, get the pricing right from the start. Be confident in what you're doing. That's going to help you. It's going to give you the confidence that says, this is what I charge. Here's an itemized invoice of what all I plan on doing, and here's what the per foot price is, whether it's outside or inside, top side or whole side, whatever. That's huge. It's also got notifications, reminders that go out to the customers. It's going to do some kind of proactive marketing for you, reminders that'll help with cancellations or no-shows, collecting deposits, online booking, that kind of stuff. So there's a brochure. I gave all you guys a brochure, a notebook so you can take notes as y'all continue through the class. I won't be here. I've got to leave this afternoon. And there's also a shirt. If the shirt doesn't fit, I've got a few extras that they packed in. You can be more than welcome to dig through it and get something that you want that fits you. So that's really it in a nutshell. I want you guys to understand that in detailing, it's so subjective. So you're gonna have customers that expected one thing and you delivered the other. Just know that there is common ground. You just got to find it. And when I tell you got to bite your pride, you have to bite your pride. They really just want to see you kind of bend a little most of the times. Most of the time, they just want to see you go that extra step and be willing to do that. Also, be willing to accept, especially in the marine world. Automotive's a little different. Is there anybody that does automotive detailing? You do? Okay, so automotive detailing is a little different in that there are cases where they expect perfection and they're willing to pay for it, straight up. Marine detailing, nobody has enough money in this world to have a perfect detailed boat. I can tell you that right now. There's not enough time in this universe to have a perfect detailed boat, because we can detail that boat 100 times and I guarantee you I can go pick it apart. I have a guy, a QC manager, that goes over every job in our, every job that comes out of our shop. His job is to QC, quality control. Check over every boat. And I tell him, if you don't find at least 10 things on that boat, you're not even on the boat. Like, there's no way to get it perfect. You got to be willing to know, to accept that and know what you need to do. Know what you got to do. And be willing to kind of say, okay, I could sit here and wipe this boat down for the next 5 days, or I can get on to the next job, get it as good as I can get it, and get on to the next job. And Drake mentioned 95%, and that's about the truest thing I've ever heard. About 95% is what you're going to get out of it. And y'all notice that when y'all start sanding that boat, that if you look deep enough, if you get the brightest light and you put beside it, it's not going to be perfect. So you got to be willing to accept that and move on. This industry is a great industry, and it's growing day by day. People like John over here with Start Products are coming out with great stuff that's helping you out tremendously. People like software help you out tremendously. And it's professionalizing our industry. We can charge now big money for jobs. Used to, man, it was $6 a foot to wash a boat, okay? I mean, it was, Now we're getting $12, $18, $20, whatever, to detail, and that's not even including any kind of other work. That's just straight up detailing. So the money's there, the jobs are there. I was telling somebody a while ago that competition doesn't even exist in our industry, because there's more boats and cars than all of us can do together. So you can hang that up. The best thing you can do is find guys in your industry, pair up with them, have a good working relationship with them, understand what they offer, and then let them understand what you offer, so y'all can pass jobs back and forth, and it will help you. Y'all will grow together. The industry's set, man. You're coming into a very good market where you can come in and you can make money fast. The best thing y'all done was invest in yourselves by sitting here today and come in here and learn this thing right. Because I'm telling you, when I say there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that go to figure this stuff out, I'm not kidding. It took us forever and ever, and a lot of money and a lot of time. I'm lucky to be married still, really, because of that. So anyways, I know you guys are excited to get going, so I'm going to shut up. Feel free to come up, grab a notebook, or you can leave them here, whatever. I don't care, whatever works for you, but there is brochures. In the notebook, there's a card. One card is my personal contact. You're more than welcome to call me, text me, email me, whatever. I'll respond. Another one is my sales manager, Ryan. He's the one that does all the demos and walkthroughs if you want to see the software. Pricing and all is in there. It's $49 a month or $39 a month if you buy it annually. It's basically free. So it's minimal for the value that you're going to get out of it. So feel free to check that out, and that's it. I'm good. Yes, sir. All right.
Heck yeah. Dude, one thing with his software, I went to his shop about probably maybe 2 months ago. He was just like showing me through it. He was like, yeah, you can do this, and you can send out text messages, and it'll automatically automate text messages.